Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, and today we're going up Wainwright's smallest mountain, Castle Crag. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. So we're starting from a little village called Grange. Now if you're ever coming down Borrowdale, you can stop just at the bridge there. We're about 4 miles from Keswick. You can stop here and come across the bridge, and this takes you into Grange. If you're driving and you can get lucky, you can get parked on the side here just next to the old church. You can pop in there and have a look at some local history as well. Okay, so we're going to walk around here. These houses here are holiday cottages, so you can actually stop in these if you want. Grange Bridge Cottage. I'm sure if you Google that, you'll see there's actually a QR code, so you can. And then Grange Bridge Cottage, award-winning. There we go. It's even got a car charger, so if you've got an electric vehicle, you can charge your car there. Okay, so we're going into Grange Village here. Again, there's some public toilets just down to the left there, and they just sort of sit behind there. As you come into the town here, on the left you've got a little cafe. Okay, so we're just taking a left down by the cafe, down this road. This road takes you to basically towards Castle Crag. We're going to be visiting Castle Crag, Millican Caves. If anyone doesn't know who he is, I'll tell you in a bit. Okay, Grange in Borrowdale is a lovely little village. As you see in the cafe there, it's a bit early, so we didn't see it open. It's a Sunday morning as well, so we won't. They start about 9 o'clock, I think. So this walk takes us along this road, probably about a mile, and then we'll start climbing up Castle Crag. And at this point here, this is where you can now see Castle Crag in all its glory. It's a small mountain, Wainwright's smallest, or the smallest Wainwright, and it's got a lot to it though. I think that's why he kept it in, and why he chose it as a Wainwright. Okay, when you get to here, you're going to be taking a left, and then this takes you up past the campsite. So you can actually camp here. It does actually say bookings only. Inquire at the farm. You've got a sign here, Public Bridleway, Castle Crag. And this will take you down to the river. In summertime it's nice for picnics and stuff. So you can take the family along. Sit by the river and enjoy the Borrowdale Valley. As you can see, it's a bit cloudy today, but it makes it for a nice bit of dramatic scenery. The campsite quite empty at the minute. We've got one person. In summer this is completely full, but this time of year, leading up to November, it's very quiet. So if you want to come this time of year, it's quite easy to get a pitch in. So the woodland round here is rich in varied oaks and ashes, a bit of hazel as well. And the forest looked like this hundreds of years ago. This is pretty much untouched. come round the corner here, you can see the River Derwent. This leads into Derwent Water, the lake, then carries on through into Bassenthwaite Lake, through into Cockermouth. Cockermouth's the birthplace of William Wordsworth, and then on into Workington and then out to the sea. So we're quite far in for this river on its journey down to the sea. This river is such a clear river, straight fresh off the mountains. A little bit of history, I suppose. So all these stones here, they've just been put over the years. This river used to just come through here. I mean, even in my time, it's changed. And all these stones have piled up. It's actually made itself a sharper corner. Usually it's the opposite. They usually try and straighten out, but this one's almost put a bend on itself. But when the river's in a bit higher, it comes down here and fills this whole area. And where I'm at's an island. And this is what I'm on about, is how clear this river is. If I just come over here, look at that, you can see right to the bottom. Even when it's flowing fast, it never really gets murky. Almost feels like you can cross this river at the moment. Okay, back to the path now, and this is where the path can split up and over a bridge there, and then we've also got a dried up riverbed. It hasn't rained for quite a few days, and this thing is completely dried up. This time of year it's quite a rarity, but usually you can probably get across this, but it's more like stepping stone. But if the river's in full flood, you can go up and over the bridge. The main way up is just where them people are now. You've got a little bit of a river that you can go through, and again another bridge over to the right. What we're going to do is take this footpath up here and look at a lesser known cave that not many people go to or know about. Okay, getting to it now. So it's not a cave, it's a quarry. So this is more known for rock climbing, but it's still for it's what it is, quite a picturesque little quarry. I think it's a bit of a nature reserve now as well. Yeah, this is Dalton Quarry. There's a little note here that said these the last time I was climbing was in the 90s, and these bolts on these routes here were placed in the 90s, and they're now saying they're dangerous. So even though it looks tempting, this note here says they need to be replaced. It's a bit treacherous to get to as well when you're rock climbing. I think you can come down off that top bit there and then along, and then when you're on that bit there you can go all around, but you can just see the bolts on the top there. I just thought I'd come up and have a look, see if I was right. Yeah, this is the little path that we used to take, and down and along. So this is fairly deep, but yeah, that's a little path there to the rock climbing pitches that shouldn't be climbed on. Okay, so we're going to carry on up now, up to the main path up to Castle Crag, and you'll see the main bridle way going up there. You just see the top of Castle Crag now, and you can see it is quite, even though it's dwarfed by its neighbour, it stands alone and you get good 360 views. These deposits of slates around here, signifying that there was a lot of slate mining. It was back at the Dalton quarry there, and there's even quarry work up at Castle Crag as well, almost right near the top. Okay, we're just coming back down to the main path now. So if you were to take that other path, it comes up to this bridge here. Yeah, this is the start of the climb up to Castle Crag. And you can see this pitch in here that was put in for when it was a bridle way. Well, it still is a bridle way, but it was a lot looked after back in the day when it was a quarry road. There is a video back in the 50s or 60s of an old car coming up this path. And you wouldn't think it. The first part of it's not too bad, but when you get through the gate, it's quite worn away. But back then, there was still quite a decent quarry road. It's quite a stepped little bridle way now. It's starting to get a little bit steeper, not too steep, so you can actually walk it. Wind's picking up now, so I might have to go to my wireless microphone. How busy this is. Sunday morning, we're talking about 8:30 now. Must be about 20 or 30 people going up here already. Okay, so the main route up Castle Crag is along this path here. I just sort of came up here to get a video of it, and you can see some guys walking up. It takes you up here, over a stile, and then up onto the top. Okay, as you're coming up here, it does get quite steep. There's a little bench there with a little memorial. These steps here, as you're going up, there's a little drop off to the left here, so this is about the most precarious place. Through the gate, then onwards through this little single track path, and then you can just see the quarry works here. There's a little quicker place going up here, which is a little quarry path. Just bear in mind this quarry path is quite steep and there's lots of loose rocks around. If you want to go for an easier path, take that little single track through the woods there. You can go up there, but I'll show you over here the main path. That's where the path comes along into there and up past this group and then up there. And this is the quarry works. Yeah, this is a little viewpoint, and this cairn gets more spectacular every time I come up here. This is like 6 foot, nearly 7 foot high now. Certainly getting built up, and there's all these little piles of rocks everywhere. So the top of Castle Crag is through there. We're going to go through here and have a look at the what I call the gravestones of Castle Crag. Someone's been busy balancing these rocks. Look at this one here. Surprised that one's actually holding. I see, it's leant against the rock there. Anyway, there's a little view here. If you've got a dog, keep it on a lead here because it drops away very sharply. You get a nice little view. up to Castle Crag. Walk if you wanted to. You can actually come up to this point here and round the back of this, and it comes up and over on the back of this, around the front of that, and then it comes up and over there, and it's easier to get up that way. This is actually in the quarry itself. You can see it's quite sharp, steep rock. Just one note, if you are here, once I was here and those kids throwing stones, because that's the top up there, and they were throwing stones off here, not realising there's actually people down here, so just be careful. I'm just coming back down here now. It's quite slippy coming down here in the wet, so it's not so bad when you're going up, but coming down you can really feel it, especially on the lichen. This sort of patchy green stuff can get really slippy. Okay, we're heading off to the top of Castle Crag. Again, this bit here can be a little bit precarious, but it's easy going. And this is coming up to the top. This is the quarry we were in just before, and the top is just over there. As you can see, it's quite a busy fell. Just descended the steep path down there. Go up and over this little stile here. The main route's up there. We're going to go off to the left. Okay, once we're over this stile, come down here and we're back down to the quieter parts of the Lake District, heading on down to the Millican Caves. So Millican was very outdoorsy. He liked going out and doing what we all do now, but a long time ago. And he used to take people out on routes around Borrowdale, and what he did do was he found his own little retreat in the caves itself, but he did actually do a lot of guiding. That's what he did for his money. Look at how epic this is here. This is lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Okay, as you come over here, you're looking across the valley here and you can see Borrowdale opens out. This is why they call it the jaws of Borrowdale. So you get this narrowing where Castle Crag is, and then it opens out into this grassland. And I suppose the camera doesn't do it justice, but this is Wainwright village down there, and you can just see Glaramara just off to the right there. Okay, as you come down this pitching, you go through this gap in the wall here. Quite a steep little descent here, takes you down, and this time of year covered in wet leaves as well. Okay, as we come down to this gate, I'm going to be taking a left. If you want to actually go to Wainwright, you can take this path over a bridge into Wainwright. There's a little farmhouse there that sells food, little cafe, and you can get some refreshments, come back along here. Right, after that descent there, this is pretty much a level walk. When I say level in the Lake District is obviously different to anywhere else. This is all quite boggy here, but I'll show you a little swimming hole as well. So if you're here in summer, there's a nice little place where you can go swimming. Okay, this is quite an old woodland, this. I do believe, I think it's that wood over there which is called Johnny Wood. That's classed as a rainforest, just because the amount of water that falls out of the sky. Here, I'm not sure if you would call this a rainforest, but there is a lot of lichen. And there's a squirrel over there, looks like a grey. So Millican got quite famous doing these walks, and probably more famous for living in the cave. They did actually call him the Borrowdale Hermit, and quite a few people jumped on that years after. And I'll show you. We actually found the place where one of the so-called hermits was stopping. But before that, I'll take you over to this little swimming hole just down there. Okay, so the path goes off to the left there. You've got this little kind of boggy section here, but if you just work your way over here, over the stepping stones, here, doesn't look much to start with, but if you pan over to the left, you've got a lovely place to swim. So if you follow this little footpath over to the left and then come down here, you'll see the little swimming hole in all its glory. Look at that. And before I was on about how clear the water is on Derwent River Derwent, you can see pretty much all the way to the bottom. So in there, it's probably about 6 foot deep, 7 foot deep at the moment. It's quite a nice little retreat, and it's off the beaten track. So if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, you could actually jump off here. You might need to take a running jump to clear that, but yeah, definitely. Again, you can see right down to the bottom. Okay, we're going to join the path back up again, and we're going to take you over to the Millican Caves. So Dalton lived in these caves quite a few years, and you know, he was like sewing old tents up and using all the sort of resources around here. So although he resided in the caves, he probably spent some time wandering all the way around here down to the river to get water. So I imagine, I wonder if there's still some remnants up there. This is what I like about this time of year. In summertime you couldn't see any of this, but now you can actually look through and see some cliffs up there. Don't know if you can see it. There's a cliff here, and then there's some further up there. So you can actually see quite a lot of wildlife, and the river's way over there now. So at this point in time, we are quite far away from people, and I can see why this was invited for Dalton. Okay, so we just come out of there. I'm going to go through this little gap in the wall here, and as we come over here, little quarry site. We've got the place where Dalton used to reside. Right, this is it. The Caves of Millican. Now, which one he actually stopped in, I don't know. There's one further down that looked pretty much like he should be stopping in that one, but was it this one? The ledge all built up there. It's quite a substantial. Right, this is all wet here, and I would imagine it's probably not a place to stop because it's so wet even back in the day. Right, so I'm going to go up, and there's another cave higher up. We'll have a look at that one. I suppose wanting to get away from things, you'd want to get up and high and away as far as possible, so quite possibly is this one up here. It's been so long since I've been here, I forgot what it looks like. Okay, so this is a higher ledge, quite a nice little place. It'd be good for a little wild camp here. You see across the valley, I would imagine in the morning, lovely sunshine, midsummer, it could be quite nice out here. We're going to go into here. I suspect this is the cave. So this is Dalton Cave, or the caves of Millican. Okay, the plaque actually says no fires. It smells like someone has had a fire. This is potentially where people come. This is the one. Then we do see, looks like someone's camping down there. Let's go in and have a look. No one's here, but even though there's no camping sign, we've got fresh firewood. And this has been bought. This is stuff that's been split. So someone's had a fire in here. This looks like it's it. Very dark. She maybe brought a torch. So the hermit that we saw lived up there. So I'm going to go around the back there and see if there's anything there. Again, not a bad little place. This is where we saw the tent, and it smelt like a guy had been there for a long time. Not now. I would imagine the inventor of wild camping and social media. This is quite a busy cave, especially in summer. And if you're wanting to get away from people, I don't think this is a cave to be doing that. But still, the legend goes on, eh? Right, so that was Dalton Caves. Okay, this is the main path back down to the river, and we're going to join the river, follow the path along down next to the river Derwent. Okay, we're back on the main path now, and basically nice and easy, follow this path all the way back to Grange. As you're coming along here, there's another couple of swimming holes and little swimming places that you can go here for rapids and stuff. At the moment the river is quite low. Usually all these stones here are covered, and there's a nice little swimming hole down here. The main path goes up there, and there's this little beach here. Oh, I saw a duck swimming, but it was a dog. As you can see, all that sort of stuff there is usually covered, but at the moment we've got a little beach now. Imagine in summertime the river's quite low. We've got this lovely little place here. A nice big rock there on that side. It's huge. But yeah, this is a nice little place to paddle, swim in summer. And there is a duck over there as well. Okay, as you get to this gate here, this is kind of almost where you meet the road, which is just through there. That's that little swimming place that we were looking at just before. You can see it much better from up here. All we have to do now is come across. If the river's up in flood, then go across the bridge. If not, you can go across the stones just over to the right there. Okay, that's pretty much it now. just back through this gate and we're on the road. Follow the road back to Grange. Pop yourself into that cafe, have some food or a drink, something like that, and then you can either get the bus back up Borrowdale or continue your adventure back over to Honister Pass. That's been Castle Crag and Millican Dalton Caves, and it's been a nice little walk. It's taken me around about 2 hours, and that's filming as well, so give yourself 3 hours for the walk so you can stop and have a picnic and stuff like that, and I'll just sit around and take in the views. This time of year, although you don't get the weather like you do in summer, you can see through all the trees and you can see a lot more than what you normally do. Right, this has been Lost in the Lakes, and we'll see you in the next one.